Hello, my name's Damien, and today I'd like to take a little break from Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'd like to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct coming tomorrow and make a bingo card for it that anyone is free to use. Although, to begin, I'd like to talk about the Direct that happened a couple of days ago. Sorry I couldn't post a reaction immediately, as I was in school as it was happening, but how amazing was that Direct? New Riven Heaven, random new Pokemon Legends ZA gameplay, new Tomodachi life. How could you ask for a better send-off for the Switch 1? Sadly, I was never able to play any Riven Heaven games, nor Tomodachi Life, as I never had a console other than the Switch and the Wii U. But now that I can play it, I plan on playing them on this channel, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But enough on that, let's get started. I'm going to rank these in order of likelihood, and explain why I chose to put every prediction where they are in the rankings. 1. The Direct is 45 or more minutes long. Yeah, this one's not too interesting, so let's just move on to the next one. 2. There will be a reveal for the Switch 2's user interface, hopefully better than current UI, for example making things like folders more accessible rather than just a section in the all software menu, or making a menu which is more user friendly and bubbly, giving it a good old Nintendo charm. Also there's a couple of other things that I'll reveal later, but I don't want to spoil it. 3. More info on Mario Kart 9 is quite likely, as it was announced with the reveal of the Switch 2. They can talk about the new 24 races thing being a focal point for the game, and the new art style too, making them more like the original Mario Kart. 4. There'll probably be a new mouse mode, especially with all the rumours, and the Joy-Con 2 is literally racing around with the straps as if they were mice. This would open up many opportunities for Nintendo to attract PC gamers to the Switch 2, as PC gamers are more used to mouse controls, not controllers. But with this, they can feel right at home. It's also very good for some current titles right now, for example Splatoon, because the only way for players to traverse around the 3D area is to use the left joystick. But what if a game wanted to put some other control for the left joystick, but still want to be able to move the camera? Well, now they can. 5. Another thing that will probably be revealed is the strange, currently nameless button below the home button. This button is rumored to be called the C button, and is rumored to do one of two things. 6. Switch 2 may have built-in chat functions like Xbox or PlayStation, and I'd say it's about time. If I wanted to play a game with one of my friends on the Switch 1, there'd be no way to communicate with them at all, which was inconvenient as I had to call them on WhatsApp or Discord. And there's no way I would have used the Nintendo Switch Online app. This is one of the rumoured C-button functions, and I think it's actually the best decision to have a new button for, as all the other buttons are mapped to in-game functions. And the chat function would probably be something that overlays over your current game, which would require a completely different button. 7. Another way the C button is rumoured to be used is as a screencasting button. This would be good if they revealed a new Nintendo Switch Online app for the DS, 3DS or Wii U, but wouldn't really have many more functions other than possibly some new games that display off the new attachment. I, however, think this would be pretty irresponsible for Nintendo to use an entire new button, as this function could just be in a menu as a toggleable function, where you can just send the other screen to Switch 2's dock, or a dual screen attachment. 8 and 9. More very likely reveals will be reveals of the price and the release date of the console. I don't really have to say much about this, as this is pretty obvious, except I believe that the Switch 2 may release in May or June for the summer season, as there are no games actually slated for that time frame that I'm aware of. I believe that Nintendo Switch 2 would probably cost about $400 and £400, as the OLED launched at $350, and nice thing about the price being $400 is that it's 4, which is 2 to the power of 2, so 2 2s, which would probably be a theme for the Switch 2. 10. New mainline Mario game is probably going to reveal too, as there have been no mainline Mario games since Mario Wonder, which was revealed in 2023, which is 2 years ago. And hopefully the next Mario 3D too, as we haven't had one of those for even longer, specifically 4 years ago, with the last one being Bowser's Fury in 2021. 11. A new Donkey Kong game is also very likely, as it's been over a decade since the last new game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U. Another reason a new DK is likely to happen is because of his recent redesign for Mario Kart 9. A new game would also be great, because I'd love to play a DK game for the first time fully. 12. They'll also probably reveal the games that are unavailable for the already confirmed to be backwards compatible Switch 2. As it did say in some very small text on the Switch 2 reveal trailer that some games will be incompatible with Switch 2 hardware. These will probably be games that have functionality with Switch 1's IR sensor. 13. Something I'm quite excited for is a reveal for new colours for the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, as I loved how colourful the Switch 1 was and I loved the customizability, really gave it that Nintendo charm. 14. Another thing that'll sadly probably happen is a reveal for some sort of Switch 2 online service. This is depressing, as paying for online functionality is not something anyone would like to do for their console that they've already paid a pretty penny for. Hopefully there's a price reduction for this online service though, as the expansion pass for the Switch 1 was ridiculously high. 15. Although, another exciting thing is that Mii's might return for the Switch 2, a topic sparked by the reveal of Tomodachi Life 2, but it's very exciting, as Mii seem to have new designs in Tomodachi Life 2. Maybe they could add Miitopia's Mii making mechanic, but I doubt it. I personally love the Miis, they were so endearing on the Wii U and I hope to see more of them. Maybe a complete overhaul for the Mii Maker could happen, and maybe even make it part of the UI, which would be fun too. Speaking of UI, 16. Themes other than basic black and basic white. These would also be an amazing thing for the Switch 2 to sell, as most everyone will agree that the Switch menu is quite depressing. Adding themes like they were on the 3DS will be a very smart decision. 17. Something that could be linked to these themes is menu music, which would certainly make the Switch 2's UI more lively, as right now scrolling through your Switch menu is just a sad harmony of click, 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 which is just depressing. 18. Speaking of music, this can lead on to a potential eShop overhaul, as the eShop on the current Switch can only be described as a bad word beginning with S that I can't really say on this platform, and I don't really want to say it. Hopefully this time it will be less laggy, have music, and generate suggestions based on the games that you actually play, instead of having it filled with unmoderated adult games. 19. A new Zelda game or remake might be quite likely. I don't have much to say on this topic, I haven't played much Zelda games, but making a remake of these games would allow me to play them on this channel, which is something I would love to do. 20. A new Splatoon game would be incredible, as this franchise, which started on the Wii U, which is really hard to actually be successful from, is actually one of Nintendo's best franchises now after being less than a decade since it released. Starting up with a new console using this franchise would be a really smart thing for Nintendo to do. 21. A Pro Controller 2 might be something that's revealed. This would obviously just be a more comfortable way to play the games rather than the Joy-Cons. 22. Pre-orders might be announced for the Switch 2, but this is unlikely if it doesn't release in the summer this year, as why would you pay for something you won't get for over half a year? 23. Multiple models may be another way Nintendo swells their new console, including a base model with the price of $400 I said earlier, and possibly a Lite or an OLED model. Lite being $350 and OLED being $450. This is because in the reveal trailer, when the Switch originally becomes the Switch 2, the screen has a clear bevel. But later, when the screen is shown, the bevel seems to be gone. I noticed this and began to think it might be a potential hint for an OLED model for the Switch 2. 24. A new Kirby game might happen, but I think it's quite unlikely, as I think games such as Mario, Splatoon and Zelda are bigger sellers for new consoles. 25. A new franchise may also be announced, setting up an identity for the Switch 2, possibly being more wacky as Nintendo is currently pushing to become a more wacky company as it was in the past. So that's it. Those are my predictions for tomorrow's Switch 2 presentation. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more similar content to this, please like and subscribe and check out my previous videos. Thanks, bye!